puzzlers, this is Steve here with another video on how to play some logic puzzles. This is called the catwalk. How it works is you're going to be getting the cat over to its milk bowl by moving one cell at a time orthogonally. So up, down, left, right. Can't move diagonally. The numbers along the outside of the grid, along the rows and columns, indicate how many cells in its given row or column that the cat's going to walk upon. What I'm going to go ahead and do is try to solve these puzzles for you, sharing some common tips and tricks along the way to hopefully make it easier for you to solve these on your own. If you want to give it a try before seeing the solution, I've got the links in the description below. As far as tips and tricks, one of the things to keep in mind are the corners. If you're along a corner, you're going to have to see three cells, right? So if, let's say for instance, he walks on that corner, he's going to have to walk on those two as well, just like that. So it's always important to kind of keep that in mind. And then along with the corners, also be aware that if you're ever walking away from the bowl, you're going to have to double back. So for instance, if I make my way this way towards the bowl and then I move away from it to the left, I'm going to have to double back and I'm going to have to hit those cells again. So always keep that in mind. And then here with an alleyway, so this one for instance, I know that the cat's never going to walk up or down this row, so I'm actually going to X these out, I'm sorry, this column, because I know he's only hitting one of these cells. He can't move up or down. And what this is doing, it's going to create an alleyway. So if he moves through any of these cells, it's going to hit 3 automatically. So what I know with that being said, any of these rows with a 2, he can't go through those alleys because it's going to be too many cells. So we can automatically X all of those out. And then you can also create some dead ends and test them. Now this is an easier puzzle, but on the harder ones you can do that. And what I mean by that is, you know, for instance, if I put an X here, I would also have to put an X here because this is a dead end, right? If he walks into this corner, he can't get out. And so that would be one way to say, okay, if I put an X here, I have to put an X here. Is that okay? I obviously won't need to do it in this puzzle since it's a beginner one, but just keep that in mind as you do the harder ones. And then lastly, the 2 and 3 cells clues are really important because a lot of times they have to be consecutive. So these 2s, for instance, this is going to be helpful because I'm not going to be able to walk down this way, right? Because if I walk down this way and I shoot through this alleyway, I'm going to have to come back up to hit, you know, I'm going to have only one shaded cell. So I'd have to come back up and hit. But the problem is you can't go back on the same cells you walked on. So what would happen is I'd go down, I'd come up, and then somehow I'd have to circle back, and then I'd have too many. So I actually know that I can't go down here. So I'm going to have to walk over here. And now I hit a 2 clue. I can't go anywhere but down, because if I go over here and then I kind of come back and hit it again, now I'm going to have to go up or down, and I'm going to have 3. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, because if I go here, down, and then over, I'm going to then go down and I'm going to make 3. So I'm going to have to do that. And same thing now going across, and then down, and now I'm going to have to come left or right here. Now I know I can't hit those cells. Those are done, so I can do those. And so this one is done, so I know those are done. Actually, I can mark all of those off now. And my cat's going to walk this way. Now again, he's going to either go right or left. Can't go left though because I've already satisfied this column. I've solved it right with the 2 up here. So I have to come right. And I'm hitting a corner, so I have to come down. And again, I have a decision to go left or right, but I know I can't hit those. And here, this 4, there's only 4 cells left, so I have to hit all those 4. And now with these 2s, I know they're going to be adjacent to these. So I can actually X out those. This is a dead end down here, so I can X those out. That's his pan. I'm going to highlight that one. So I think the trick here is this 4, because if I come right, that's a corner. I go right, come down, and then how do I get 4 in this row? I'd have to come left, and then I'd be stuck. That's a dead end. If I come to the right, that's only 3. So he's going to have to come like this around that corner, and there's 4. So I can cross out. He comes down, and now do I go left or right? Well, I need 3 in this column, and I only have 2. So I can't separate it like this, where I have something like, because again, the 3 is a lot like the 2, where most of the times they have to be all consecutive with one another. Because again, you can't, you always have to have two cells next to each other for the cat to walk around. So that is it. That's the solution. Hopefully that is helpful for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and do another one for you, just to kind of get you used to it. So I always start by highlighting those. Now this 3 is interesting because it's away from the bowl, so I'm gonna have to go up, and then there 3 are gonna have to be consecutive, because I can't go up, you know, move over 1, then down, and then come back and revisit it. So I'm gonna have to have the 3 in a row. And then the same thing with this 3 on this side. It's the same, you know, idea. And what's interesting is this 2, you know, whenever you have 3, there's going to have to be an entrance and an exit, right, if I'm going away. But the problem is, you know, oops, if I have the 3 anywhere away from my cat now, I'm going to have too many cells on this row. Oops. So what dang it. So I'm going to have to go up immediately. Now I can't go to the left because there's not enough space to make 3. So I'm going to have to come over like that. And what that does, this is not the best interface. Sometimes the mouse gets stuck. So those top columns are taken care of. So I can X all of those out. And now he has to continue going forward. So we do that. And now if we think about these 5s, there's only 5 left. So that's all of those are highlighted. This bottom 2 is now taken care of with those 2. Now this is a corner. So the corner has to be solved like that. And this 3, now a trick here is there's some overlap. So 3 cells are going to have to be highlighted here. And this is kind of like a nonogram. These 2 overlap no matter what. So we can highlight those. Let's think about this 5. If I put one over here, I'm out of luck, because what ends up happening is I'll have to walk. Well, no, not necessarily. Never mind. Let me rethink that. This 3 is going to have an entrance and exit just like this 3 up here. And no matter what, that's going to resolve this 4, right? The entrance is going to be like that. Oops. Right? Or it's going to be, oops, like that. Right? So that 4 is going to be resolved that way. If we think about it this way, that solves the 5 as well, right? And the cat would have to walk this way and then maybe over. Yeah, no, that's not going to work, because how do you get, what's going to happen is if you walk this way, I can't walk up, that'd be a 6th one, and then over. And I can't walk over here and then up, because then you'd have too many on the 4. So actually the 3 goes like this. And the cat walks this way around, and then those are X'd out. So he has to come forward again. And so now this 5 is solved, right? there's only 5 cells left. So this is a corner here, so you have to resolve the corner like that. And so now it looks like this 5 is solved as well, so you can X that out. So he's forced to come up. You can't cross your own path, so you have to come over. And this is a corner here, this corner 5, so it has to be resolved like that. Now if I come here, this is gonna, I can't do that because, well, he needs to walk through that way. So let's have him go up here. I don't think I'm explaining this the best way. A lot of this is intuitive as you kind of get to do it a little bit more and more, but that is how you solve the catwalk. I have one more example for you guys just to show you. So these are dead ends down here, so we know that those can't be marked. These two have to resolve that too, and that's a corner, so you have to come in like that. Oops. So those are gonna, those are gonna be highlighted. These are gonna be highlighted. Now this is interesting because this 3, we can only have one more. So the cat has to either come up and then down, or it has to go down and then up. But the cat can't go sideways, because if he goes sideways, how is he gonna get both territories? So we can actually mark all the sides like that. So it's going to create an alleyway, right? This 6, is this 6 resolved? 3, no, 6, 7, no. So 4, no, can't resolve that. This 3 is interesting, right? Since it's away from the bowl, you're going to have an entrance and an exit, and you can't have it here. 1, 2, 3 overlaps with 1, 2, 3 from the bottom, so that's a no-no-gram strategy. And so we know there's an overlap in the center, and because we know we can't go sideways here, we have to shoot, we have to shoot through this alleyway, right? So we know the footsteps go like that, and now this is a corner, so he has to come over on both of those sides. So that's helpful. So we've solved now that 3. This 5 now, this 5 is resolved. No, it's not. I'm sorry. 3, 6, yeah, no, not yet. This 6 is resolved though. 3 on the bottom, 3 on the top. This is a corner, so he has to come like that. That's a corner, so it has to come like that, and that's resolved the 4. So those are no good anymore. Let's see. So we have to figure out if the cat comes up or down. I don't know if we can figure that out quite yet. Oh, this 5 solved. 2 on the bottom, 3 on the top. So this is another corner, so you have to hit the corner like that. This is a corner up here, so you have to hit that. This 4 is going to be resolved by the cat exiting. It has to exit up or down, so either way that can't be it. Let's see here. 2's been solved, 4's been solved, 5's missing, 2, 5's missing 2, this is missing 3. Oh, this 4 is solved. That's helpful. Yeah, there we go. So this is a corner, another corner. These are just tons of corners, hitting those corners. This can't connect with itself, so it has to continue going. Same thing here. This has to continue going, can't connect with itself. Now this 5 is solved, so those are X'd out. This 5. This 5 is interesting. It needs 2 more. This 5 is solved though, right? 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we X those out. So we know that this path keeps going forward there. This path is a dead end. It can't go up, can't go to the left, so it has to go down. Okay, so what ends up happening, you can see the cat basically has to come down here, move around, go up, and then finishes going into the milk bowl from the top. So not from the bottom. So this has to continue forward like that. And now this 5 is solved. 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a corner, so he has to come around. That's a corner, has to come up. There we go. This connects there. All right, we know the cat comes down. Can't join to the left or down. That if he comes down, he cut off this whole area. So he has to come to the right. This has to continue going forward. That connects, and that connects, and we are done. So basically he comes down, goes to the right, does this little walkathon all the way over there and into the bowl. Let's check it to make sure that's correct, and it is. So that's a catwalk for you guys. Lots of fun. I liked it. I think it's it reminds me a lot of a Minesweeper Genius. It's an app on the iPad. Great game. I really like these pathway puzzles or loop puzzles. They're a lot of fun for me. I put it up there as I'd say one of my favorites. I really do enjoy it. So give it a try yourself. I'll put the links to all 3 puzzles in the description below. It's at picnicpuzzle.com. Great website for a lot of fun puzzles. Hope you guys have a good night. Oh, and like and subscribe if you guys want more videos.